warm welcome to what is sure to be another special Harcourts Rata and Co auction, number 4, Drews Lane in MERNDA. My name is Robert Ozzimo. I proudly represent the company of Harcourts Rata and Co. I'm joined here today by some of my award-winning team in blue, the best in the north. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Ivan, Joel, Giordano, and of course Michael Cetrola and Emilia Faba, who no doubt you've had the great pleasure of meeting throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you now the following announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer. I'll indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction. We call for a 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here today, with the balance to be paid at settlement in a flexible 30 to 90 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the purchaser with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything's in there. Everything's quite clear. So buyers, it's with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today. What a great opportunity to buy this great investment or this great family home, perhaps a first home here opposite Parkland in the heart of MERNDA, with access to absolutely all the infrastructure that you need to create a great lifestyle, but also to provide security through future capital growth. The market is certainly on the move. This is your opportunity to be decisive, get in and earn that capital growth rather than having to wait and pay it down the track. So if you'd like to get that job done here today, buyers, right now is your opportunity to do just that. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for number 4, Drews Lane? Who'd like to start me off? At 640, fair start, and 640 will go. At 640,000, fairly been offered. Bids here, competitions here, opportunity with you all. At $640,000 now. At 640 the bid. At 640,000, any better bid, any better offer than 640. At 640,000, can I suggest 20 in the rise at 640 now? First call. At 50, I'll short of my stride, take the 50 and 60 now. At 660,000, the quick retort there. At 660 the bid. At 660,000. At 660,000, make it 70. At 660,000, fairly been offered now at 660 the bid. At 660,000, once at 660, are we done? 70, ma'am. At 70 now, welcome and best of luck. At 80 now, again the quick retort at 80, 90 if you like, at 680 in the bids there. At 90, is that yes? At 680,000. At 90, got. At 690,700 beckons now. At 690,000, the bid's here at 90. At 690, the bid. At 700, welcome ma'am, best of luck. At 700,000, even money. We are on the market and we sell here today. At 700,000, the bid is here. At 700, I have here, sir. 710 if you like. At 705 now, 705 the same, courtesy at 5 if you like. I dare say they were big bids, what you need now, because we are on the market and selling. I'm not going inside, there's no half-time break. I'm out here till we sell. At 705,000, we sell away now. Bids here, keys are here, we're selling once at 700. At 10 now, had it here first at 710. Hand up here first, 15 if you like, sir. At 15 got now and welcome. At 715,000. At 715, 20. 20 the call. At 715 got. At 715 we are on the market. We play for keeps and 20 now and welcome back at 20. At 720,000 we're selling here today. Make absolutely no mistake about it. There's no second chances. We are on the market and selling. 720 bids here. Keys are here. At 2, can I say 2.5, ma'am? 720, 2.5. At 2.5 now, same courtesy, sir. 72, 2.5. At 722,500. At 25 now, welcome. Never too late to the hammer falls. Hasn't fallen yet, but it's about to at 725. At 7.25 in the bids here. At 725,000. At 725,000, fairly been offered bid there. At 725, sir, you've been strong all the way through, but you've got to finish strong if you want to buy. At 725,000 bids there. 27? At 27, at 727. At 727,000, round me off to 30. At 727,000, keys are here at 28. At 728. At 728,000, best response to small bids, a big one, 30 now. At 730,000. At 730, the bid now. At 31 now, at 731 the bid, at 731,000, bid behind, don't walk away for one, at 731,000, fairly been offered once, at 32 now, at 732, at 33 now, at $733,000 the bid. We sell here today. As I said, there's no halftime break. My instructions are clear, they are to sell. At 733,000 bids there, keys are there.
734?
At 34, at 734, at 734,035, at 735 the bid now, at 735,000, sir, ma'am, in the middle here, we're definitely done. Thank you very much for your bidding here today. Ma'am, are we done over here? Thank you for your bidding here today. At 735,000, we're done over there, sir, ma'am. At 735,000, bid there. First call at 735, done. At 6 now, and welcome back at 6, at 736, and 7, at 737 now. I have 37 over here first, 38 if you like. Can I say 38 now? And 38 got at 738, at 39, and 40 it's got to be. At 739 in the bids there, 739,000. At 739,000, can I suggest 40, sir? At 739, so we done over here? Still with me? At 739 on the phone? No worries, seek some instructions at 739. Tell them to be quick, we're about to sell at 739 and the bid's at 40 now. At 40 I had here first, at 740,000. At 740, 41 if you like. Same opportunity there, same opportunity with every buyer here today. At 740,000, bids there, keys there. Once at 740, done. At 42, at 742. At 42 and a half, at 742 and a half. Best response to a $1,500 bid is a big bid on top at 742,500. Now's the time to show strength, to dig deep if you want to buy. At 43, at 743, at 743,000. Small bids help the competition come along, ma'am. At 743,000, if you want to buy, you have to be bold, bid big. At 3.5, at 743.5. Can I say 45, ma'am? At 743,500, at 743.5 and the bid's there. What do you say? 743.5, fairly been offered. At 45 and a great bid at that. Fight fire with fire, ma'am. Give me a big bid. At 745.5 now. At 745.5. At 745,500. How about we be bold, ma'am? Say 750 in the rise. Dig deep. Show the competition that you're here to buy. Show strength in your bidding. At 745,500. Bids there. Keys are there. Once at 745.5. All done.
748?
At 48, at 748, at 748,000. At 48 and a half, at 748 and a half now, 748,500. Ma'am, I'll suggest 50 again in the rise at 748,500. Sir, do we have instructions yet? Not yet, or the instructions are we're done?
Not yet.
Not yet. Tell them to be very quick, sir. I'm about to sell at 748 and a half. The bid's there, the keys are there. 50, ma'am? At 748.5, the bid's there. 750 might be the mental barrier for the competition. At 749 now, 749. At 749,000. At 749. At 50 now, 750,000. Fairly bid and offered. Now we sell here today at 750 the bid. At 7.5 and the bid's there. Keys are there. We're selling once at 750. Are we done? Twice. At 750,000, done and finished. Third, final call at 750, the bid, all done, all finished, all silent and out at 750,000. We're definitely done here. Thank you again. Done here, done over there, sir. 750,000. So I do need those instructions now. Definitely done. Thank you very much for your bidding here today at 750,000. The bid's there, ma'am. Everyone's out but one. You're definitely done.
Yes.
I have your absolute best here today.
Yes.
It's not worth a cheeky half on top. 750 and a half. 750 might be their limit. Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Thank you very much for your spirited bidding here today at 750,000. Bids here, keys are here. We're selling once at 750, done. Twice at 750, done and finished. Third, final call at $750,000 the bid. All done, all finished, all silent out. We're definitely sure, ma'am. We are selling. So, congratulations and well bid. Please join me in congratulating our purchasers and our vendors here today. You've just witnessed another successful Harcourts, Rata and Co auction. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done.
Oh, it's hers, not
It's
mine.
hers.